7 years. That's how long I dated a man who was separated, and it was definitely emotionally complicated. If you've ever caught feelings for a man who's technically still married and not quite divorced yet, this is the video for you. Before you judge or run, let's talk. Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mireille Nicole, relationship coach for women, and I'm all about guiding you towards your happily ever after and helping you tackle the tough stuff in love with grace and wisdom. In today's video, I'm not giving professional advice. I'm giving you something more powerful and personal, a grounded, compassionate perspective if you're dating or married to a man who's divorced or separated. This is a nuanced topic that I don't think a lot of women hear compassionate, balanced guidance about. So I'm going to start by sharing a little bit of my own story, the real challenges that come with loving someone whose past isn't perfectly resolved or still unfolding, and what helped me find peace and clarity in a situation that didn't fit anyone's checklist for love. Not every divorce is quick, clean, or simple. If you're dating or married to someone with a messy past, this might be the perspective shift you need. I'm a little bit scared to record this video. I can just imagine the thumbs downs and the comments. Like I said, this is more my personal experience and perspective. Do not take this as professional advice or the be all end all of advice. I think this is going to be a very unique situation to you, and circumstances can be so intricate and unique and messy. You're really going to have to go with your gut here, but hopefully I can provide some very useful, perspectives and mindset shifts for you to help you navigate this really emotionally difficult, complicated relationship. Let me start with this. I've been divorced. I have one son, and honestly, my divorce was about as amicable and clean as it gets. Within a year, pretty much, everything was final. We agreed on 50-50 custody. We split our assets. We each kept our own things. We were able to respect one another for the most part, and that made moving on feel simpler. Not simple, not easy. Even if it was obviously still emotional, right? But my husband's separation, that's not my story to share. So I'll just say this. It was the exact opposite. And even now, there are still pieces of it we're navigating together. Honestly, I don't know if it's ever really over when you and or your partner had previously started building a life with someone else, but that doesn't mean that the both of you can't move forward in your new relationship together. Being with a man who didn't have like a clean break with his past came with real challenges. We dealt with financial struggles because nothing had been legally or formally agreed upon by the time we got together. A high conflict situation that was and continues to be unpredictable. Blending families, so we both have children we brought into the relationship. So just navigating, relationships with children and stepchildren and co-parenting and different dynamics, and totally different parenting styles between my partner and I, which created friction that spilled into our relationship. I tend to be a lot more helicopter parent, mama bear type, and my husband's more easygoing and laissez-faire. But looking back, I made some big mistakes. Number one, I got way too involved in things that weren't mine. I wanted to know everything, like what was going on with the lawyers, where the agreement was at, how he dealt with his ex, how decisions were being made. I just wanted to make the process happen faster. I gave a lot of opinions, thinking I was helping, but what I was really doing, I was trying to control a situation that felt really emotionally unsafe for me. And in doing that, I dropped deep into my masculine energy, unfortunately, trying to fix, solve, and manage the situation. And it really crushed our polarity. It took away from the attraction, and it messed up the feminine masculine dynamics in the relationship and just made everything feel harder. Worst of all, I was putting a lot of pressure on him to change things, to move faster, to clean up his life so that I could feel better. And it wasn't until we hit rock bottom in our relationship that I realized something needed to shift. And it wasn't just him and moving things forward in the separation, it was me too. Now, here's what changed everything. Number one, letting go of control, just relinquishing what wasn't mine and removing that pressure and that burden off of myself that, like I said, wasn't even mine. Obviously, it affects me if I let it affect me or when I let it affect me, but it wasn't mine. And just letting go and just having that peace of mind after was a big game changer. Number two, I started working on my own emotions. I learned how to soothe myself instead of needing him to fix his situation faster to make me feel better and letting him parent his way. So that was a big one. I really stepped back when it came to that and said, you know what, he's allowed to parent his kids his way. In our case, all of our kids have two parents, and I didn't need to be the third parent in their lives. Of course, there's a certain level of blending, but I really examined what is my true role and what gets to be my role in this situation. And at the end of the day, I chose my relationship, my peace, and my sanity. And here's the most powerful thing I'd say. I started seeing it all from a more spiritual lens. I started looking at it like, you know what, my partner is on his own soul journey. So is his ex. So are our kids. And you know what, so am I. And I stopped trying to rescue everyone from their path in life and their own journey and making their own mistakes or, going through their own challenges and obstacles, and started trusting that each of us in the situation, in the relationship, was learning what we were meant to be learning and still are during our time on this earth. And that shifted everything. Here's what I would tell another woman in this situation. So if that's you, if you're dating or married to a divorced or separated man and it's not clean, it's not final, it's not perfect, here's what I want you to know. Don't judge his story based on someone else's timeline or society's timeline or what you think it should be or maybe what it was for your own divorce or separation if that was the case, right? Like I said, mine was really clean and pretty quick. So it's hard for me to understand why it took so much longer for other people, but everyone's circumstances are unique. Also, it's okay if it's messy. What matters is your emotional alignment and love together. You don't need it to be perfectly finished to feel emotionally free. Drop that fantasy of things ever being perfect and clean. Your fairy tale can look like anything, right? It might not look like all those perfect Hollywood movies, but you know what? There are those Hollywood movies where things are really complicated and the couple just overcomes these extraordinary things together. So everything can be a beautiful love story at the end of the day. Focus on your own energy, boundaries, and emotional regulation. This is one of my favorite topics. I have tons of videos on that on this channel, specifically because of what I've been through, this being one of the biggest challenges in my love life. Now, all of this being said, if something in your gut feels off, definitely listen to it. This is an incredibly nuanced topic, and I don't think just one piece of advice from one person's experience is going to be, perfect to get you through your own situation. Really, listen to what feels good to you. Take what feels right, leave what might make you feel, a little bit unsure or uneasy or doesn't seem to apply in your situation. And the real question is, can you stay in your feminine energy, your peace, your power through these circumstances, even if things aren't perfect? That's going to be what matters the most. So remember, it's not about waiting for things to be perfectly resolved. It's about learning how to show up in your emotional maturity, your feminine energy and clarity, and let him carry what's his. Stay anchored in your lessons, your path, your self-worth. And if you feel like it's dragging on or something in your gut tells you it's not right, I totally encourage you to follow your intuition. If this video resonated, give it a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Are you in a relationship like this? What has it taught you? And if you're feeling overwhelmed by your feelings and circumstances, don't forget to grab my free emotional detachment cheat sheet. It's a gentle way to begin reclaiming your peace today. The link's in the description and the comments below. Until next time, and watch this video next.